Welcome to Conversations with the Candidates. I'm Thor Jourgensen, City Editor of the Daily Item. Our guest today is Jay Walsh, candidate for Ward 7 City Councilor. Welcome, Jay.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Pleasure. Tell us a little about yourself and your background.
I'm born and raised West Lynna my whole life. I am a tech graduate. My wife's also a tech graduate. Raising my family next to the house that I grew up in with my parents. Bought the house right next door. I'm also the vice president for the union for Local 201, which is the General Electric Company, the wastewater plant for Viola on the Linway, Avis Budget Rent-A-Car, and the Saugus Librarians, actually. I'm a plumber by trade. Was hired at General Electric Company about 12 years ago, and I'm also the lead organizer for the Lynn Christmas Parade.
Other accomplishments, organizations, and affiliations you'd like to fill out, and tell us a little about why you're running.
Okay.
Why did you decide to run for Ward 7 Councilor?
So growing up in Westland my whole life and just kind of seeing the excitement and people that you kind of meet on a daily basis, I kind of thought it was time for me to give back and just be involved with it. It just seems like the right thing. I have a 5-year-old daughter. She's going to grow up and however the world progresses, and if I can help it along in the right direction for her sake too, then that's what I'd like to do.
When you tell people out there as you campaign, Jay, about your accomplishments, in other words, what makes you qualified potentially to be their counselor, what are you telling people?
So one of the things I like to say is a lot of the accomplishments that I'm attributed to would be as a group. I have a lot of people like the Christmas Parade, which I was involved with, and it's not something that's an accomplishment that I've just done, but it's a whole group of people. I have a lot of instances like that. The neighborhood block parties. It's not just me; it's all my neighbors that are involved. And I think being that person that's always kind of helped to organize it and work with those people would be a great thing to have in the city as we go forward.
What's the biggest issue facing the city of Lynn?
I would have to say the heroin addiction problem right now. That's a huge hurdle that's hit everybody hard here. I mean, every family in the city's probably been touched by that. And I think that if you haven't been touched on a personal level, knowing somebody that's addicted to it, I would say that the things that come and follow the addiction have at least spread to neighbors and people and had problems with that. I see that as a huge hurdle for us right now.
2 questions.
Yep.
Has that epidemic touched you personally is the first question, and then you said the things that follow.
Yep.
Could you expand a little on what we're talking about?
So absolutely. I've had, without getting too involved in any particulars on it, but I've had people in my family that have been directly affected over the years for it. It's something that friends and people that I've gone to school with, it's just happened. I've seen them. People disappear. You wonder what happened, and you find out. I mean, we read the newspaper and it says died suddenly. I mean, I think everybody kind of knows what that is, and I think when I speak to the problems that come, if it's not directly affecting your family, it's going to be, the crime that comes with it, the quality of life issues that people are having to put up with because there's people that are having these addiction problems, and it spills out into the households and into the streets. So,
as a city councilor, what could you do about it individually and in a group of 11 people?
One of the things that I've actually said this before too, is that we need to have people be less embarrassed about the addiction problem. I think it needs to be brought out to the public and say there is a bigger problem here. And I think we're starting to do that. I see it more and more. I think people are embarrassed by it, and sometimes that compounds the problem. Whereas the longer it's hidden, and people don't really address it, and they don't want to say it because they're embarrassed by it. So I think we need to bring that to the forefront and explain to people that this is something that you need help with. You have to come out with it. You just can't hide this because eventually it's coming out.
What are the ways city council or any municipal body could do that? Bring it to the forefront, as you say.
I would say talking more about it and trying to bring initiatives to help get treatment for some of the people, I think there's programs out there that are coming. I know the Leo organization, for one, has a program that they've been compiling for people who are employers that have how to deal with the situation, even for the employers. My parents owning a business, that's something if they had to encounter it would be great to have a guideline on. I really think that that's going to be important. We have people that are functioning drug addicts too that work out in the workforce that people aren't realizing that they're addicted. So these are things that I think people need to know. We need to get the knowledge and the support with organizations like Leo that have programs already designed to help.
Why should someone vote for you?
I would say I've been involved with the city, and I've had experience running some meetings with the Conservation Board. I'm the chairman currently. I think my experience behind that, my historical experience with Ward 7, living there my entire life, and knowing a lot of the problems that have compounded historically too, you know, and just knowing the culture within that area also, and kind of living there and knowing about it. I think that's a huge plus for a lot of people that are going to say, hey, does he really know me? You know, how does he know that I'm having those same problems or the same quality of life issues, or what direction we want our city to go? So I think living in that area and having that historical background is a big, big plus.
Thank you. This has been Conversations with the Candidates. Our guest is Jay Walsh, candidate for Ward 7 City Councilor. I'm Thor Jourgensen, City Editor of the Daily Item. For more election coverage, read the Daily Item at itemlive.com.
Absolutely. Great.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your time.
Pleasure.
Appreciate it. Thank you.